welcome back to episode 10 of the Sturry Link Road project. This week, activity continued to intensify across multiple sections of the route as major groundwork operations pushed further forward. On the central piling platform, layer after layer of aggregate continued arriving throughout the week as crews worked to bring the platform up to its required formation level. By the end of the week, the piling platform was nearing completion, with safety barriers beginning to appear around the area, a clear sign that this section is moving closer towards the next phase of operations. At the same time, significant visual changes were taking shape down at the southern roundabout. What began the week as a largely open work area quickly transformed into a clearly visible roundabout formation, with constant deliveries, earthworks and muck-away operations continuing throughout the southern corner of the site. Ground investigation and testing also remained ongoing around the roundabout area, while clearance and preparation works continued between the river corridor and the railway line. Across the southern section, the groundwork process remains methodical and repetitive, Terram being laid first before layers of stone are built up above it, helping separate and stabilize the ground beneath the future road structure. It's a process now becoming increasingly visible across the site as more of the route starts to take shape. Engineers were also seen marking out sections across the central piling platform during the week, likely linked to upcoming testing and preparation works ahead of future piling activity. And as the week progressed, machinery movements began shifting too, with the dozer eventually relocating over towards the southern roundabout, where activity is expected to increase even further in the coming weeks as construction continues building towards the future viaduct's abutment area. This is Sturry Link Road, episode 10. These pockets were being prepared for shear vane testing, a process used to measure the strength and consistency of the ground conditions below the surface at different points across the work area. Later in the evening, with the site temporarily quiet and machinery shut down, the scale of the changing landscape became even more visible from ground level. By midweek, the central piling platform was entering its final stages, with the upper layers continuing to be laid across the surface as crews worked towards completion. But it was further down at the southern roundabout where some of the biggest visual changes of the week were now beginning to emerge. For the first time, the full formation of the roundabout was becoming clearly visible from above, with the layout now properly marked out across the site. Across the ground, Terram continued being rolled out ahead of further stone placement, while hardcore deliveries remained constant as build-up operations pushed forward throughout the week. Between the River Stour and the railway line, ground clearance and strimming works continued throughout the week as crews prepared the corridor for upcoming construction activity. Along the riverbank itself, this work forms part of ongoing ecological mitigation, with previously phased riverbank cutting, followed by ecological searches, used to safely encourage water voles to relocate before main works begin. Since then, the area is being regularly trimmed to maintain conditions that discourage them from returning, alongside routine inspections from ecologists to monitor and manage the habitat. With that section carefully managed, work is able to continue progressing safely along the wider route corridor. At the central piling platform, engineers were seen carrying out detailed setting out works across the newly formed surface. Marked points such as PT30, PT31 and others refer to specific plate test locations across the platform, where ground performance is being checked before the next stages of work can proceed. At each location, a plate load test is carried out. A steel plate is placed onto the compacted stone, with a hydraulic jack positioned beneath an excavator, applying controlled pressure. As the load is applied, the settlement of the plate is measured against the pressure, producing a CBR percentage reading, the California bearing ratio, which determines the stability and strength of the ground. A photo from one of these tests is shown on screen here, taken on Platform A at the southern abutment area, giving a clear view of the setup in action during testing on site. These results are recorded as part of the site testing process ensuring the piling platform meets the required standard before moving forward into the next phase of construction. Across the southern roundabout, significant volumes of imported material have been arriving throughout the week, with between roughly 700 and 1,000 tonnes a day of Type 1A fill being placed into the formation area. Type 1A fill is a well-graded granular material, typically crushed rock, used in major earthworks to build up and stabilise ground layers. It provides a strong, compactable base that can be tightly controlled and tested as levels are raised across the site. These deliveries are expected to increase further into next week, with daily aggregate totals set to rise to between 1,000 and 1,500 tonnes as the build-up continues across the southern roundabout up to the abutment area. A really good moment came together on site this week with Keaveney Group. One of the team on site went out of his way and instructed the operator to bring the bulldozer right across the site and over to the gate so I could capture it properly for the documentary. He even made the time in the middle of a busy shift, which really sums up the attitude on site: straightforward, helpful, and supportive of what we're trying to document here. And as it comes through now, you can see it moving across the site.
This is a man. That's pure nicety. He said, yes, I'll bring over the bulldozer. You can take a photo of it for your documentary. And he's just done that when I've come down here, so it's absolutely amazing.
Across the course of this week, steady progress has continued across multiple sections of the Sturry Link Road scheme, with each area now starting to show clear physical change on the ground. At the central piling platform, the final layers were completed and brought up to finished level, approximately 1.2 meters, with engineers carrying out ongoing marking and testing to confirm the ground is ready for the next stage of works. Down at the southern roundabout, the transformation has been even more pronounced. What was once an open stretch of ground is now taking clear shape, with formation levels becoming defined and constant deliveries of Type 1A fill building up the structure across the roundabout and towards the future viaduct abutment area. Between the River Stour and the railway, clearance and ecological management has continued carefully in the background, allowing works to progress while maintaining the required environmental controls along the corridor. And as the week has gone on, the scale of material movement has only increased, with aggregate deliveries now forming a constant rhythm across the site, and further increases expected as the programme moves into next week. But looking ahead, there is a sense that the pace is only about to intensify further, with plant, operations and material volumes all set to increase again next week. The southern section in particular is preparing for another step change in activity, as the build-up towards the viaduct abutment area continues to gather momentum. And while everything here is still taking shape from the ground up, this is the point in the project where change starts to accelerate, where what was once just lines on a drawing is now becoming something real, something permanent, something you can physically stand in the middle of and see forming around you. The drone pulls back now over the roundabout formation, low across the ground, following the line of the works that have been built so far, orbiting the pile of Type 1A fill at the edge of the developing route, before settling over the stringline cone at the centre of the roundabout. And then, as it rises away, the full scale of what's unfolding here comes into view, lifting up and out into a wider perspective of the site and everything it is becoming.